great to have you all again back on our channel. My name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
Today we are continuing with our relationship chat series, and today we have two guests. We have Adaeze and
we have Kelechi.
Yes. So they would be kind of having a conversation with us. They are both single, and it would be quite interesting. So I kind of welcome you all to join in this conversation.
In case you're new on our channel, please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on your notification bell. And if you have any comment to make, please share your comment, like this video. Let's know what your thoughts are, as they talk about issues around singlehood.
Hello, everybody. It's great today to be here. And we have two guests, two, honorable people. Yeah. We have Kelechi and we've got Ada. And well, I will just ask them to introduce themselves individually, probably just give our viewers an idea of what you do, your spare time, hobbies, just like general stuff. Just tell us, okay? So I'll start with, ladies first. So I'll start with Ada.
Okay. Hi, Amara. My name is Brother Gospel. My name is Adaeze Nworgu. I'm a HR generalist and I work in an advertising agency. My spare time, my hobbies, I like to play basketball. Great. I swim and I write.
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting. I never knew that about you, that you could play basketball. Quite amazing. What about you, Kelechi, please?
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Gospel and Amara. My name is Kelechi Acholem. I'm an accountant. I work with a media organization. I live and work in Lagos. Yeah, so in my spare time, I do a lot of football. I love football, and I am a faithful Manchester United fan. Yeah, and I have very strong interest also in music production and sound engineering. Yeah, and I love to cook as well. I love to travel. So these are just a few of my hobbies.
Yeah, I know one thing about you. You play keys, isn't it?
Yeah, I play the piano. Yeah. Sorry, how could I have forgotten that one? Yeah, I love playing the piano. Yeah.
So let's just have a conversation. I want to start by asking you guys, what are the major issues that limit singles who are ready for marriage from settling down? Because, there's been a lot of conversation out there, a lot of people are saying, oh no, I'm still single. There are a lot of things I would want to achieve and, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to ask you from your own perspective, because we do our videos, but we felt that it's important to talk with the single people, just to get their view.
Yeah, we started this conversation with previous guests and they shared their views, though it's subjective. What we try to do is let people say what they think, and those guys were amazing. And we felt, okay, fine, we have to bring in you guys to know from your own point of view. What do you think? What are the issues that limit people from settling down on time? Maybe we'll go with Kelechi now. Kelechi.
Okay. Well, first of all, for the benefit of our viewers, I would like to do a little bit of definition, so that people can, within the context of our conversation, for people to understand what singlehood is about. Singlehood is singlehood is not a cause like most people have made it to look like now. It's not a cause, neither is it a disadvantaged situation. It's just a phase that virtually every one of us, everybody, every adult, by adult I mean people who have gotten to the age of 18 and above, would have to experience in life. Yeah, everybody has to experience it, but the only difference, it has to do with the tenure of singlehood. That is the duration, how long it lasts, and it varies with individuals and the experience you get there from. So singlehood, there's nothing wrong about it. It's just a phase, and there are several factors or issues, like you said, that can determine should I say how early, in quotes, people settle down. Because for me, I don't think there is any there's a perfect definition of how do I put it? As in the earliest time that one can settle down. It all has to do with your level of readiness and preparedness at a given time. One, it could be maybe the person's family background. That's to do with upbringing and orientation. The person got growing up. It could also be influenced by a person's career goals. It could be influenced by a person's academic goals. It could be influenced by, a person's past relationship experiences. It could be affected by maybe meeting the right person at the wrong time. It could also be, it could also be determined by, let me say, a person's relationship expectations and standards. For so many people, some people have unwritten criteria about the kind of picture they want to see, the kind of relationship they want, and all that. So all these things affect, and most of these issues some of them are within the control of the individual, and some of them are not within the control of the individual. So there are a lot of things that come into play. Yeah, but these are just a few of them, I think, that can, to a large extent, determine when a person moves out of that phase or settles down.
Casey, you've said a lot. In fact, if we explain some of the points you've given, I think 1 hour will not be enough for us to exhaust them. Maybe we'll come back to you again to give more in-depth analysis or exploration of some of those.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that I picked out from what Casey said is he spoke about the fact that it's about the level of readiness and preparedness. So I think that kind of stuck out for me. So yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, he said that. He also said something about expectation. People have different expectations, and if you've not met someone who is ready to meet those expectations, it could be a limiting factor.
Yes, that's true.
And one other thing he said is that some of those factors are within the control of the individual, and some of them are not within the control of the individual. So I want us to talk about those ones when we come back to him, because we need to know from his experience which are those factors that can be controlled and which ones cannot be controlled.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, Anna, it's
your turn now.
I mean, Casey has said a lot, and most of those reasons he gave are very valid. That's more of the reasons why people are still, single. And again, marriage we're made to believe that before you get into marriage, you have to be whole. You have to have everything already figured out. So most times, people who are single want to make money, find their feet, make sure that, they already have a life, they have everything going on well for them before they get into marriage. So even for me, I want to have money, I want to reach a certain level in my career, I want to accomplish some goals I've already set for myself. At the same time, well, this is my own part. The guy's part, have I seen someone who fits into my plan, who fits into the picture of the kind of man I'm looking for, the kind of marriage I've already made up my mind that, okay, this is the kind of marriage I want to have based on the relation. You've dated different people and it doesn't feel like it, like something
doesn't click.
You've not found, that's, for lack of a better word, the perfect guy that fits you or that can complement you. So it's about being compatible. Many people have not found who they are compatible with. So that's why, they're still single, they're still searching and hoping to find that person who they're compatible with. Then, we also say there are no serious, it feels like there are no serious guys anymore left. Most times when guys come, they're not, they don't say they're not coming forward with, this is what I want. You're ready, but the guy is not ready to settle down. So that forms a bit of mismatch. So the girl is just there, and then again, after having several experiences of maybe heartbreak or the relationship has not been working, you get to a point where you're like, let me just focus on other things. If this area of my life is not working, let me leave it for now and focus on other areas. once that aligns, when it's God's time, if God really wants me to get married. I mean, you even start questioning, some people are not actually supposed to get married. Maybe you fall into that category of people who should not get married and settle down. So like, okay, let me make sure that other areas of my life are doing well. And I mean, that would sort itself out. So yeah, that's also part of the reasons why people are still single.
Amazing. I love some of the things you said. You talked about the fact that, well, a lot of people, I think what I'm taking out from what Ada has said right now is that so many people are so stuck in that mind and phase of, I have to settle down, I have to settle down, I have to settle down, I have to settle down. And they forget that, look, I can still have a life even though I'm not married yet, and the fact that she was saying something, although I know it was a joke, that maybe I fall in the category of people who are not supposed to get married,
Yeah, but the thing is that you have to find a balance between looking for what you want to achieve in life, the goals you've set for yourself, and then settling down. Some people get so engrossed with meeting their goals.
Yes.
They forget that they have to balance the other aspect of life as well.
Their life.
By the time they realize it, it seems like there's no more time anymore.
Yes.
Pressure.
Yes.
Family pressure from society and all of those.
Yes, that's true. Now, sometimes people say where they are. So do you think that environmental factor plays a role in someone settling down? What are your thoughts on that?
You're asking Ada.
I'm asking Ada, yes, because she mentioned, I think she touched on it in a way. So I'm asking you now, do you think that environmental factor plays a role in one settling down?
I think it does. I think it actually plays a role because, again, not necessarily, because people say for you to want to settle down, like you have to also make yourself available, like be out there. So yes, I'm in a place I'm thinking, okay, there are no available guys, but are you even making yourself available? Most times it's like we have a routine from work, church, house. Where's the time to even associate with people, to evaluate your environment and meet people that, are single and want to mingle? So in a way it does, but then in a way I think it's also about the person who is not trying to maximize the environment that the person is in. So it goes both ways. I've stayed in the UK. It's not like I met, like some people have stayed abroad, they didn't meet their partner abroad, they've come to Nigeria. So I don't think it's about where you are, but it's about you also making yourself available.
Okay, Casey, do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, on the environment, yes. I think to a very large extent, the environment you find yourself part-time affects your ability to settle down or move out of that phase of singlehood. Like, the environment, every environment has values that are prevalent, that are dominant there. And to an extent, your environment influences maybe your way of life and your perspective towards life as well. Yes, an environment has a way of, for instance, let me use decency. It has a way of affecting people's definition of decency, for instance, when it has to do with issues like, let me say fashion as well. As a guy now, maybe my definition of decency might not necessarily align with the definition of decency of the available ladies within the area where I am, and if it doesn't align, it will be difficult for one to maybe start up something meaningful, start up a meaningful relationship with that person, or have long-term plans with that person. Because even the Bible says two cannot work together except they agree. It's just an example, though. Yeah. So what appeals to me might not necessarily appeal to the next person there. So these are environmental factors, and within the same environment, that's where you get there are pressures that come from the environment, the society, your family as well, and all. So when they start putting pressure on you and blah blah, and some people don't really like to be put under pressure. Yeah, when you put them under pressure too much, they will just withdraw and they'll start avoiding you and all. So these are the issues. These are some environmental factors, issues that can affect a person's ability to settle down on time.
Yeah. Okay, Casey, you said something about factors one can control and the ones one cannot control. Can you talk more on those?
Okay, yeah. Like I mentioned a number of issues that can affect one's ability to settle down, like communication. Okay, I don't think I mentioned communication skills, but it's one of them. It's one of them. Communication skill, quality of a person's communication skills. I think that one is under a person's control. It's under a person's control. Yeah. Because communication is basic. As in, every human being has the ability to communicate. You know.
You say it's basic, but don't you think that some people are not skillful in terms of communication? Because for you, what you think is a normal thing, for some other person, you're like, how can this person communicate? Because there are different forms of communication, right?
Yes.
It's not really
of course,
because
yes.
when you look at most of the issues around marriage, it's
borders around.
Most of those issues are linked to how effective the spouses communicate.
Exactly.
You know.
Yes. And they became issues in marriage because they were not adequately dealt with before marriage. These are some of the issues you try to sort out while dating someone, you know, when you guys were still in the relationship phase, you know. So like that's what I mean by communication being basic is that every living being has the ability to communicate. You communicate your expectations, what you want out of something, a relationship. You know, some people find it difficult. Like there are people that have very poor communication. It's not like they know what they want, but they don't know how to communicate it to the next person. Like for instance, when you start dating someone now, you know, communication is, for me, like let me not generalize. For me personally, it's basic. You know, I like constant communication because that's the only way you can get to understand the next person very well, and the person gets to understand you as well. That's the only way you can make the other person understand your relationship expectations, what works for you and what doesn't work. You know, for somebody now, like me, for instance, I might be the type that likes maybe like checking up on you every morning, in the morning, you know, good morning, how are you? Hope you slept well, blah, 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 blah. But the other person might not be that type, you know. To that person, if the person hears from me once a week, she's fine. Even if you don't even call her again for the rest of you, she's fine. She doesn't see any problem with it. But me, I like checking up on the which one should I use now? On whoever I'm dating. Yeah. I like checking up on the person from time to time. Things are going with the person. Or maybe like not like being on the person's tail every now and then. But maybe like in the morning and then at night.
Casey. I understand you're saying for you, the quality of your conversation with the person has to be high. It should be constant. It should be frequent, you know. And obviously, if that's not there, something is wrong.
Yeah.
If I would say.
Yeah. And then I like it when still on the issue of communication, I like it when you let me know, communicate your expectations to me. Don't just assume that I am supposed to read your mind. I'm supposed to know what you want, or I'm supposed to be able to read your signs. You know, because there's some people like that. They expect you to. They tell you, "I've been giving you signs. I've been doing this. I've been doing this one," but you've not. But me, tell me if you notice anything at any point. Don't assume that you are supposed to know this. You know, because we are getting to know every day. Even married people self. Most married people don't even, as in, they get to see new things about each other every day. You know, there's no way you can know everything about someone. Yeah, so that's why I say communication is basic. It's something that people need to work on every now and then. You know, that one is, for me, I think is within your control. It's something you can, even from time to time, you can even do like a self-review. Ask someone, what do you think about my communication skills? Do you think I need to work on any aspects and all? So for me, that one is basic. Yeah, and then from my own personal experience, academic goals and career goals as well can affect someone. And for me, I think it's within the control of an individual. Like for me, right from when I finished from school, I've always had this long dream of getting my ICANN certification. That was a certification with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and it's a very, very, very intensive program. It requires a lot of dedication. You have to put in a lot of time for studies and all. Cut off anything that is a potential distraction for you within that period and all. It's not like I didn't want to settle down early, but I just felt like I needed to focus on this now. Why? Because I was doing this while I was working at the same time too. So it's like my hands were already full, so I didn't want to engage. In fact, I was even seeing someone at the time itself, but I know the person was always complaining because weekends are always out of the equation because the program runs all through Saturday, as in the morning. In fact, from Friday evening after work, I'll just go. We usually have a class from 6 to 9 p.m. Then the morning, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, Sunday from 12 noon to 9 p.m. again. So the time is not there. But so most times, like then, I was always having issues with the person I was seeing then. So like, I need you to make out time for me, just the way I'm making out time for your ICANN program too. I need the same time, this. But at the end of the day, how would you juggle everything? So it's all about understanding and all. Even though it's a choice I made. Some people would have been like, okay, don't worry, I would maybe this weekend I will not go for classes. I'll come so that we'll hang out and all. So it was within my control at the time, but I made a choice to be focused on it because it's just for a while. After a while, I'll be done with it, and then I can still move on to other aspects of life, And for some people too, career as well, career goals, it depends on the nature of your job, the work you are doing, and on your work schedule. For some people, they might give themselves a target that within so number of years or within so duration, I want to get to the position of assistant manager, or I want to get to the position of manager, I want to get to the position of regional manager and all that. Like for people that work in the banking sector, how tedious and time consuming that sector is. And also, even in as much as, yes, you want to achieve this, they are still within it's a matter of choice. They are still under your control. Then the one that is not really within, I feel anyway, that is not totally under your control is the environmental factors like we talked about earlier on. Your family will always be there to put pressure on you. You cannot, even if you tell them, don't worry, I've seen somebody, or don't worry, I will settle down. They will still be on your case. Society too, friends, from time to time, especially the married ones, they'll be like, guys, settle down now. Do you want to use your pension to train your children? This one. From time the pressure. So those ones, I don't think they're not totally under your control.
But those nudging for me should even hasten the process. Don't you think so, Ada? Don't you think so?
Okay, so yes, in as much as people want to quickly settle down, and I mean the views from the married people are valid. They have our interest, yes. But then you don't want to make the mistake in marriage. I mean, their own is working out well. If you're not rushing and for the sake of pressure, marry the person maybe you're dating at the moment. What if it doesn't work out? What if that was even the person you're supposed to be with? Will you now start, I don't believe in divorce. Would divorce now be the next option? You will now not be happy throughout the marriage. So to avoid those whole failures of marriage, we're taking our time to get it right. But then again, how much time? How much time do you even need to be ready before marriage? Or how much time do we need before you finally settle down? But yeah, that's why people are still single. It's not like marriage is a no-no, but the fear of failing in marriage, the fear of not getting it right or being with the wrong person all the rest of your life is why people are taking their time to at least make you get it right from the get-go. Another factor is that, we spend a lot of time building a relationship that is not leading to marriage. By the time you look, time had gone. Maybe imagine you're in a relationship with someone. Because that relationship is hard work, is commitment, is you trying to, get to know each other and making adjustments for the relationship to work out. You're there 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're building a relationship with someone, and at the end of the day, it doesn't work out. So that time factor, like building different relationships that is not working, is the reason why people are still single. Like, I dated now, 3 years has passed. That's 3 years of my life gone. You start on that relationship because you don't want to rush in. You want to take your time, get to know. You feel it's about the length of time in knowing someone. You're devoting time. Another year like that. That's another reason why people are still single, because they find themselves in relationships that are not working, relationships not leading to marriage, or relationships that these are people, maybe one of the partner feels, I don't want to settle down with this, I'm just wasting your time. And the other party doesn't know that you're just there feeling that it's about your hard work, about what you do. So that's another reason why people, are still single.
I think that's a very important point you've raised. And that is why people should understand how to know a relationship that is going to work out and the one that is not going to work out. We try to talk about some things that singles can do in one of our videos. We talked about test of love, how you can know if this relationship is going to work out or not.
Yeah.
So maybe I would say for our audience, you're in that category, you can have a look at some of the videos we've done on our YouTube channel and see how that can be of help to you.
Yeah, that's true. So, Casey, you talked. Yes, go on, Ada, please. Sorry for
another thing, like part of the things people have talked about, like compatibility, being compatible with someone. So what if all this while I've been dating people who you're not compatible? So it's taking time to find that person that you're compatible with. So that's another thing, like you've been dating to find, as in to be sure that there's someone you're compatible with. But all this while someone has not found that person that you're compatible with. That's another thing why people are still single. It's not like they want to be single, but they've not found who they are compatible with. Already, we know that everyone is not perfect. I have my flaws. The partner, whoever I'm going to get married to, has his flaws. So two of us are trying to learn and unlearn. You enter a relationship with partner A. Partner A is saying, this area, this thing that you're doing is not right. Like, so you're trying to unlearn that way. You put in your energy, because I care about this person and I want to build a life with this person. You invest time to unlearn those behaviors. At the end of the day, it doesn't work out. Frustration to start setting in. Like you're frustrated that, you are trying to adjust yourself so maybe some people get to start feeling like, they're not good enough. Maybe there's no need. Maybe they're even supposed to be by themselves. Or let me take out the time and improve myself, develop myself in some of these things, and hope that the next relationship. But again, these issues raised in previous relationship can also bring about fear, that fear of commitment to people. It makes them, how am I sure that this next relationship, your faults will not come into play and scatter the relationship? So people have that cold feet to want to commit, because let them be okay first before. But you never know when you're too okay. You never know when you're okay. You never know when you're ready. So I guess that's another thing where they need to help single ones know that nobody's totally perfect. It's two imperfect people willing to put in that work to make the marriage or relationship work. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those. Just hearing it from someone who is still single and searching.
I think she's searching.
Well,
just end it at someone who is still single.
Yes, someone who is still single. It's amazing. The fact that it's not just coming from us, because sometimes we kind of tell people these things, like you get into a relationship, you have to make sure that the person you're going into a relationship with, to a large extent, you guys have got,
a level of compatibility.
Exactly. But, hearing it from you is spot on. Thank you so very much. So I would want to ask the gentleman in our midst, Casey. So what do you think in terms of financial pressure? So a lot of young men these days say, I don't want to settle down because I think I haven't made enough money. I haven't got all the funds in my accounts in order for me to have the kind of wedding I plan to have. And even some ladies also say the same. So could you tell me or tell us, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, personally, for me, I think it's a wrong stand to take, as in if you are looking towards settling down, if that's the major issue, why you've not settled down yet. I don't think it's the right stand to take. Personally, because I believe you can never make enough money, but at least there should be some level, there should be there should be a target, maybe that you can set for yourself. Okay, if I get to this point, it's not like you can't make all the money, that's the truth. Because even in marriage, I believe and from what I've seen, There are issues that come up that require a lot of finance that you never envisaged, as in when you were planning to get into it. Issues come up here and there every time, whether as a single, as a married person. So saying that you want to make all the money, that you can use to handle issues when they come up, I don't think it's the right position to take. But as long as you have a stable means of income, irrespective of the amount, and you have someone who is willing to build with you, who understands where you are now, and who appreciates the effort you are making. Yes, I'm at this level now, but I have a target. I want to get to this level, and the person is willing to work with you and get to that level, I don't think there's any point wasting time again, or waiting till maybe when you make hundreds of millions before you settle down. No, because while you are planning to make all the money, time is not waiting for you as well. Time is moving, But as long, but my own take is, the basic thing is have a stable means of income first, at least that comes in regularly, on which you can plan. Yeah, and then while you are still setting other standards for yourself, setting higher targets for yourself. That's my own take on it. Yeah, so that one should not be a major determinant factor for me.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, Adha, do you think this is just peculiar to guys, or do you think women or ladies are also involved in terms of financial preparedness?
I think it's both ways, but majorly for finance, it's mostly on the guys. But now, in our time, like in this 21st century, I think the pressure is now on both people, because there's now an understanding or reorientation that marriage, finance, is not just the man bringing money to the table. The woman also contributes. But going from my parents' time, or the mindset I had before, it was more about, money matter has to do with the man. So the ball was in the man's court to make money. Because I saw my dad, even if my mom was working, I saw my dad make money and cater for everything. So growing up, my mindset was, the guy he has to make all the money to be able to fend for the family, whether your wife can support or not. So now my mindset is that I think it's both ways. It's about communication. The marriage is for both of you. If it's beautiful, if it's sweet, it's both of you that will enjoy it. So if it takes me contributing money to this marriage to make it work, by all means. So I feel once we've gotten to that place that I love the person, it's about money. As far as you feel that I love this person, I want it to work, that money is not really an issue, because you're willing to, even if it means you bringing 100% and the guy is bringing nothing, you know that it's for a while. The guy, even if it doesn't work, for the fact that that's what works for you, you're happy in your marriage, both of you are okay, you are doing well, there's no issue. That's fine. But the mindset, some people have the mindset that, this guys have to make all the money. He has to be earning a certain amount of money. He has to be able to afford a 3-bedroom in so and so location, this, that. We women, yes, we put that pressure on guys. And some people don't want to settle down. They'll see serious guy that is ready to settle down, though, but he's managing small money. But because you already have a mindset that this is the kind of life, which is not wrong, this is the kind of life you have pictured for yourself. You do not want to suffer when you're giving birth. I don't want to give birth to my children in Nigeria. The man must be able to fund giving birth abroad. If I'm not living abroad, the man must be able to fund a trip to the US to give. That's people's. That's what they want. So they'll be looking for a man that can give them that. Because if you cannot give them that in that marriage, issues will come out of that. Because that's an expectation. So, but if from the get-go your expectation is that, we like ourselves, we know that 50-50 or whatever ratio we have agreed, and that's it. That's fine. But it's an issue. Money is an issue, and the pressure is more on the guys for most people to make money and have money.
Oh, that's brilliant answer. Casey, I want to come back to you. Casey, do you think that there are core issues? Let me use the word deal breakers. What are your relationship deal breakers? What are the things that
is a no
for you in a relationship that could lead to marriage?
Yeah. Well, for me, excuse me. Well, for me, the number one deal breaker for me is infidelity. That's number one deal breaker for me, because personally, I trust people easily. In fact, at some point in my life, I I started to see it as a weakness on my part because I easily trust people around me, you know. And whenever you breach that trust, as in it's I feel so pained. It pains me. I take it so personal, you know, because I easily trust people. I like to see people from their areas of strength, you know, because I know nobody's perfect. Everybody has issues here and there, you know. But for you to be able to work with someone, you have to, you know, most of the time, don't always dwell on the person's weakness and all. It's me, as and that's me. Oh. Yeah. So once you breach that trust, it's always it's difficult. It's difficult, as in for me to, you know, keep working with you or relating with you as in the way I used to before. The number two deal breaker has to do with communication, as in poor communication skills. Yeah, for me, communication is everything. It's the bedrock of every successful relationship, be it marriage, friendship, business relationship generally. Communication is very, 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 very vital, you know, to the success and growth of it. Like I mentioned earlier on, I like people who are open-minded, who are very open-minded, straightforward. Just say things, communicate things the way they are, the way you feel them. Don't try to say things in a way that will make me feel good. Just be yourself. Say things the way they are. It even helps me understand your kind of person better, and it helps me know how best to relate with you, you know, to get the best out of the relationship. Don't make room for assumptions. Don't just assume that this guy, because I might be doing something which I feel or I might not know that it hurts you, so to speak, and you would think maybe I'm doing that thing intentionally. No, but if you don't communicate your concerns to me, if you're not upfront, that guy, see you, there's something you did yesterday, or I didn't really like it, and blah blah blah. It will help me realize, okay, this thing I did is not even right. Okay, I'm sorry about it. Next time I will try to do better. And also, communication is very important for me. You know, even if and for me, communication is not about as in the 24/7 conversations, talking with the person and all. No, it's whenever we have time to communicate, at least let's be open-minded, let's be upfront. Don't put up a judgmental mindset about the other person, because I make myself vulnerable to you. I share some things with you, and then you want to judge me based on those things, you know, and also for me, communication too is key. If you are not if your communication skills are not good, it makes it difficult for me to relate with you. So these are just the two basic deal breakers for me. Yeah, the infidelity or dishonesty. Even infidelity itself, that one, it's not really, for me, it's not an issue in itself, but it becomes a problem if I get to find out myself, you know, because anything can happen anytime, but it's left for you to be upfront and be like, see, something like this happened though. I was under pressure, blah blah. But just be open, come out and let me know. But if you hide it from me and I find out myself, then that's where it's a deal breaker. That's where it becomes a huge problem. Yeah. So these two are the deal breakers for me, as far as relationship is concerned.
Yes, thank you so much, Casey, for sharing. Thank you. I don't know, Ada, please, we want to know what your deal breakers are. Could you share with us as well?
Okay. So the two topmost deal breakers for me are selfishness and unforgiveness. Because I feel both of you, selfishness, when you're thinking only of yourself, you're not thinking about your partner, it's a no-no. Because I believe in relationship, I pour myself out, like, this is me. I can give my all into the relationship, and I expect the same. So once someone is selfish and more about only you, myself, it's a no-no, because it can't work. Then unforgiveness, to err is human. We all make mistakes, but that ability to forgive is everything for me.
Yep.
So the second deal breaker is unforgiveness. I mean, we are human beings, we err, everybody makes mistakes, but that ability to forgive and move on is essential. So having a partner who does not forgive, like his own is to keep counting your errors and keeping, maybe next time when you have an issue, you still go back to it. It just cripples me. So those two is a no-no. At least I know that people forgive but don't forget. But at least create room for excesses, like forgive and create room for people to be themselves, because it keeps the other party on edge. Like, okay, because let me not make mistake, because if I make mistake, this guy will now overblow it. This guy will not forgive. Chicken. So it just takes away from the relationship. That whole you being yourself, being you, all forgiveness and self takes it away. So those two are a big no-no for me in a relationship.
Okay, let's come back to you at that. In final word, what can you say to singles out there, single ladies out there, more like an advice, who want to get married and they're not settled yet?
So I would say don't have unrealistic expectations. It's good to have your goals. This is what you're looking for. I mean, there are basic things that are non-negotiable, but don't have unrealistic expectations. And then don't rush into marriage because you feel your biological clock is ticking and you really don't yield into that pressure of I want to settle down, because it's better to make a mistake in relationship than to make that relationship in marriage. You can get in one relationship, but marriage is a lifetime. So do not rush, take your time. And I believe once it's your time to get married, and once the time is set, everything will work out together for a person. So do not rush. Take your days. Singleness is not a curse. It's not a sickness. Enjoy your singlehood. Just be yourself. Develop yourself. Learn anything you want to learn. And everything will fall in place. The right person will find you. And don't think marriage is what is going to complete you. On your own, be whole. Find yourself. Discover yourself for you. And go into that relationship as a whole person.
Wow. What an amazing conversation we had with our two singles today.
Yeah, I think it was very rich. It was a rich conversation, sharing different experience. Sometimes you can talk about some of these issues, talk about things that single people need to do, but hearing it from those who are in that situation is amazing.
Well, our guest today covered quite a whole lot of things. But maybe you're watching and you say, oh, I think they missed saying this, or I think they missed saying that. Please tell us in the comment section below.
Another thing is that if there's anything striking that they've said which resonates with you, we'll be happy to hear your view. Just write that point in the comment section.
Well, you're watching us right now. You say, oh, I have a story to tell, and it's an amazing story. Wow.
An experience you want to share.
We would love to hear that. Just send us a message and we will get in touch with you. Thank you for joining us in this conversation today. If you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you know when we put content out. Until the next episode, it's goodbye from us.